bath water's cooling. Up against the wall, we gon' twist and grind. You leaving scratches against my spine. Alright. Deep thoughts as I'm eyeing this line. It's like, damn, there's a reason that I exist. You keep on trying it, why I be inviting it? The hookup is electric, I ain't talking appliances. Professional, folks at home don't be trying this. Moving fluid on the table, couple chemical sciences. Blindfold, wristbound with the belt. Regardless of scene or heard, I ain't one to be felt. Flying the covers, you could call me a stealth. Swimming in it like Phelps, got you screaming for help. Cause I be all over her body though. I go everywhere that water go. Well alright. All over her body though. I go everywhere that water go. Well alright. She know what it do for me. She know what it do for me. She know what it do for me. She know exactly what this jug do. She proves my earth moon, believe that girl's food. My face all in it, tongue stuck on whirlpool. Construction's her mood, I'm up for it too. Digging through the wall, she wants the earth move. Jackhammer, no, mind tools multifunction. I'm finna get down. What's going on? Peace, guys. Wary observations, righteous discussions. It's the Word Up Podcast. I'm your host, OMNIETC. I'm the etc. Let's jump on in this. Oh my God. I know these are seeming sporadic, but I get so much information so quickly. And then it evolves so much that picking when to do a live stream on the subject matter just proves to be extremely difficult. Extremely difficult. You know what I'm saying? You know what? I'm gonna bring my music back. I like that. You know what I'm saying? Let that just be under me. But let's get into it. We got many a topic to talk about this evening. All right, good morning, whenever you seeing this. All right, I love how diverse the world is, because the internet is allowing us to make so many connections. We're actually able to see certain groups coalesce and certain movements, and you know what I'm saying, certain tribes here and there popping up. So, in getting into this first topic, we've got to talk about I don't even fully know where to begin with this. But I feel as though there is too much of a copy-paste culture. Let me just let that ride out. I feel as though there's too much of a copy-paste culture going on. All right? And when I say copy-paste, I'm talking about copy-paste in terms of growth, personal development, self-improvement. All right? Things that, you know what I'm saying, any rational being is doing at all times is trying to give themselves the most options. That's what self-improvement does. That is the desired outcome of self-improvement, is to get you the most desirable outcomes. All right. Looking kind of choppy on the camera. Hold on, let me refresh my camera right quick. Let me just go ahead and refresh that one time. There we go. All right, it was looking a little choppy on the camera. I do apologize. Building a plane while I'm flying it. But here's the thing. self-improvement, self-development is great. Getting sources from self-improvement and self-development. But I have a question to ask you. In your course of self-improvement, are you really trying to improve? Or are you just trying to find a plan that already fits with your core beliefs? And I ask that because the thing that you should be looking for if you're trying to improve on yourself is the truth, objective truth. Be the best medicine for whatever ails you. All right. You may have personal truths, but are these personal truths effective in your development? Can they be tested? Can they be tried out in the real world and hold up? And I ask this because it seems as though once people get so big, or people say these provocative things online, and what it tends to occur is because if you get somebody that speaks these narratives, has their own personal philosophy and their own perspective to how they interact with the world, or how they choose to interact with the world, you get these narratives that end up popping up online, okay? And I'm speaking of these narratives of, God, it's just so many. You have the feminist movement, of course, your LGBTQ, and all those people existed before the internet, but the internet certainly, allowed quicker connections and quicker coalescence of thoughts and ideas, basically, between people that share these philosophies. So you have the feminist movement, LGBTQ, you got, of course, white supremacy and that ilk, and, certainly Black Lives Matter, and something of social context when we're talking about how men and women relate to each other on a daily basis. So you have MGTOW and Red Pill popping up on the scene. All right. And they're primarily in response to one of the individuals I'm going to speak on briefly this evening, and we're going to watch one of those clips. Derrick Jaxn, and ideas like him. Steve Harvey as well, that essentially I don't think anybody deserves to be placed on a pedestal. No pedestals for anyone. I'm equal opportunity, anti-pedestal. But, guys like Derrick Jaxn and Steve Harvey that put women on a pedestal, or at least claim that that's what men should do. Should place the woman before the man's purpose, when women are most attracted in general to ambitious men. So it doesn't really, the system objectively quickly breaks down. But, excuse me if I sniff a lot. I got allergies are kicking my ass right now. But turn down that light a little bit, a little too bright. There we go. A little more. All right, like I said, building a plane while we're flying it. But, whatever group you're a part of, don't get involved in the echo chamber of it all, which is you just surrounding yourself and insulating yourself with these particular philosophies. Try to look at everything. I've looked at MGTOW. I looked at Red Pill content. I have to say, Red Pill content has a lot of areas that strongly resonate with me. MGTOW, not so much. And certainly whatever Steve Harvey and Derrick Jaxn are on, no. But, I think Steve and Derrick are hustlers. But let me bring this up because there's another individual refers to himself as the Godfather, but we're gonna talk about these two guys. All right. So we got Derrick Jaxn, Kevin Samuels. They had a eh, little. I'm not gonna call it content war. I'm gonna call it a content quarrel, where Derrick Jaxn was asked something of in regards to what Kevin Samuels said about old girl in that clip that made him viral. All right, what he said to her, and it's not even so much what he said to her; it's what she said herself, and people took offense at how he was talking. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know what I'm saying? I was raised by a single mother that even if I was talking like I am now, she'd be like, watch your tone. But mom, I'm just, watch your tone. You know what I'm saying? That whole deal. So, you know, a man's voice carries power, carries weight, and, you know what I'm saying certain things um, seem harsher. Like when a man says it versus a woman, it seems whatever it is seems magnified to the nth degree. All right. So when we got Kevin Samuels, he's very I would call Kevin Red Pill. Um, he's talking about how men should stand up for themselves and men actually have more options and opportunities and ways to make themselves more opportunities than men think they do, and they need to get off their ass and quit being lazy and apply their mind. I'm with that 100%. Derrick seems as though if you put the woman first and, you know what I'm saying, gas your woman up, magical things are supposed to eventually manifest for the man. That, and, you know what I'm saying, in all the relationships I've seen, it's never worked that way. You know what I'm saying? Like when the man 100% puts the woman before his dreams, his goals, his ambitions, and ideas, I've never seen it work out. I've never seen it work out. Now, assisting your woman differently, you know what I'm saying? But making sure that you got your shit together so you can assist her. Basically, you know what I'm saying? What we talking about. But, you know what I'm saying? I, the thing that these two brothers have in common, okay, is that people tend to insulate themselves with what they have. Maybe not so much, you know what I'm saying, not so much with Kevin, but certainly with Derrick. And it just comes from women not understanding that they've been marketed to. So all these things that sound good to them, that really don't give them the best outcome, has been a marketing ploy. I mean, editor in Cosmopolitan, if I'm not mistaken, came out basically laid that, you know, saying everything that they were saying in Cosmo for a time was just to sell women stuff. Something needs to be looked at. Needs to be looked at. But with Derrick Jaxn, the reason why I bring up Derrick Jaxn is because he's been recently in a cheating scandal, an affair scandal. And what another man does with his dick, I could give a fuck about. But when you spew all of this anti-man stuff, and then, you know what I'm saying, how men are and behave and act wrong over and over, and then here you are doing the very behavior that you don't condone, it needs to be looked at and examined. So here we are. I don't care what you do within your marriage, and certainly what you do with your dick, sir, but, you know what I'm saying, the fact that you're out here publicly saying some shit that you're not on and not 100% on. And ultimately,
when you put yourself into a position where you come that could eventually elevate you in the minds of some people, and this is why the copy paste method of growth is dangerous. Everything that this man said, there's flaws in it. You know what I'm saying? And more importantly, it might not work for you. Like Derrick Jaxn's program might not work for Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels' program might not work for Derrick Jaxn. Either one of these programs might not work for Omni, etc. Maybe bits and pieces of one of each program, I might perhaps find some sort of balance in. And I think that's what is most important in life. You know what I'm saying? But Derrick Jaxn's first and foremost issue that got him inevitably here, under public scrutiny, for however long he's under it, and we all get a turn, as I understand. So, let me preface everything that I say from this point on. I just want to look you dead in the face and say, I'm far from a perfect individual. I fuck up. I do things that I've done things I'm not necessarily proud of. Uh, I haven't cheated on my girl though. I'm not saying that like I'm holier than thou. Just it hasn't happened. So, but the you know what I'm saying. I'm not here to tell any men what they should or should not do with their members. It's just not how I roll. I just know what Omni's doing. But like I said, I think the best way to go throughout life is to take bits and pieces of information from all the way around. I mean, the internet is a vast place filled with information. Some of it is bullshit, don't get me wrong. But once you get, you know what I'm saying, to the good shit and you do the digging and the actual research, it's a lot of good shit out here for you to take advantage of. But don't just listen to one person or a particular group of people. All right? See what's out there. Mix it up. You know what I'm saying? And you're not really in search of truth if you're not willing to look at information that goes against your core beliefs. I gotta say that shit again. You're not really, you're not really looking for truth unless you are willing to look at information that goes against your core beliefs.
Shit like that, shit like that, shit like that, shit like that, shit like that.
All right? It's real simple. Okay. But I think we make it hard with how we how we have it in our mind, what the ideal is in our mind. But it often is not that way. So look outside yourself. All right. Um, but with Derrick Jaxn, his main problem is that he violated the 46th law of power. Never appear too perfect. All right. So while he was out here talking all that good shit to these women, pandering to these women, just telling women what, you know what I'm saying, what they wanted to hear instead of what it actually was in the actual situations that they're dealing with. We're going to go to this video and we're going to watch Derrick's apology. All right, to apparently he was cheating. This is what was going on, and it's gonna bounce back, ain't it? Yep, I think it's gonna bounce back. Yep. All right. Well, we here now, but this is what was going on. Derrick was cheating on his wife. He got ousted. I believe Tasha K. And this is why I don't like in this whole situation. Tasha seems as though she's excited. You know what I'm saying? I hate when black women are excited about another black man cheating. This is why I say, like, because if they were to get divorced over this, then another black woman is without a black king. You know what I'm saying? Divorce should be the end all be all. It shouldn't be the first thing that you run to as soon as trouble rears its ugly head. Back in the day, you know what I'm saying, people were staying through shit, through rough time. We're talking Great Depressions. Yes, I understand that in marriages, some women did get beat, this, that, and the third, but many did not. There were some women whose husbands, all they did was get drunk and took it out on their wives. It's great in a movie because it sells the movie and it's drama and it's da 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 da, but it wasn't the majority of men. I knew great men growing up, men that would never lay a hand on a woman, but would instantly come to the defense of women. That's what I was raised around. So to put up this narrative that all men beat their wives is ridiculous. It's not true. But I digress. It's just some of the shit just be bothering me of all the bullshit that I be seeing. But in this particular case, you know, Derrick wasn't feeling like a man at home. So he decided to go out and get some. And Kevin Samuels has a theory. It's not really a theory. It kind of plays itself out in many ways to hold up. But Kevin has this, I'm still call it theory until we can actually get statistical data and analysis on it. But Kevin has this theory that women who want an alpha male are going to have to share. And, you know, most women want not the alpha male, but the high value man, the man that makes the most money and has a network and, you know what I'm saying, can provide a comfortable lifestyle and with no financial burden to the spouse to be, the wife in question. So, Kevin did a odd podcast tonight. Oh, not a podcast, but a live stream tonight of high value men cheating. And, you know, he's a tactician, so I'm pretty certain he didn't mention Derrick's name at all in the cast just because of, you know what I'm saying, that little nothing really that they had before. But, you know what I'm saying, it was definitely a love tap to Derrick. There's nothing that man can do to make me believe that he didn't see the situation unfold and was like, oh, well, I'm going to talk about this subject tonight. But didn't bring up his name. So salute to, as he refers to himself, the Godfather. But Derrick violated Law 46 of the 48 Laws of Power. Never seemed too perfect. Never seemed like you are the source of the authority on something. I'm certainly not the authority. I'm just providing a bit of entertainment, bit of news, and some analysis. But I'll never claim to be an authority on people or relationships because, sadly, it's my belief that nobody is an authority in that area. I think we all just got to live life the best way that we know how. But let's hear Derrick and this story with his wife unfold.
What's going on, guys? Derrick Jaxn here, and today I am joined by my lovely wife, Danae, and we just wanted to address a couple of things. You know, we understand that some of you may have already heard, maybe not, that this chapter of our marriage is one that was preceded by a marriage that I completely failed. And I would say it just started around August, maybe September of last year. But, you know, a lot has been said already about what was the cause and all that other stuff. Some of it is true. Some of it is completely false. But the truth is, and I'm saying it here now, is that Derrick Jaxn was involved with other women outside the marriage. And by involved, I want to be clear. I'm not talking about just casually kicking it, maybe a lunch or something like that. I'm talking about as serious as.
Okay, so we see sis is clearly pissed still. This is the thing. It's not so much, I don't believe so much that it was him cheating. Like, he was likely cheating behind the scenes, and you know what I'm saying, it was quiet. There might have been a little friction, but it's the embarrassment of it coming to light. It's the embarrassment of everybody now in their business. He's a public figure, or she's married to him, and this whole time, you know what I'm saying, while he was doing what he does, some chick, he slipped up, some chick was taking pictures of his feet or some bullshit like that. And then, you know what I'm saying, he brought him. So the second thing he's guilty of is he was cheating in the most atrocious of ways. Why would you bring him to the crib, bro? But that's on Tasha K. We're not gonna get into it, but apparently there were pics that popped up online of the woman taking pictures at his house, at his residence. You know what I'm saying? So he was sloppy, and because that'd just be a blatant no-no. But you know what I'm saying, his wife is clearly unhappy, and it's the weight of the public knowing that another woman has been with her man. She already knew that he wasn't shit, okay? She already knows. If nobody knows that a nigga ain't shit more than your spouse, it will likely be you. All right? You know you ain't shit. Your wife knows you ain't shit. But his whole brand is how he makes his bread and butter. So she was rocking with the shit. But when it brought her embarrassment, let's keep going.
Sex, to sexual flirtation and meeting up and that kind of thing. And some things that otherwise may be considered okay by some in terms of like just chatting or checking on people or being checked on by people that I've had a previous encounter with. But without my wife's knowledge of it and with us having a sexual history, all of it falls under the umbrella of inappropriate, cheating, affair, stepping out. Definitely not in alignment with the vows that I took. And definitely not in alignment with the biblical standard of what it means to be faithful, which is the standard that I'm going by now. Now, I'm saying this publicly, not because I'm, married to you guys. First and foremost, I'm accountable to God. Then I have to be accountable to my wife, in which we've already had this conversation. I've already told her literally everything. I've given her basically a roll call list. If I've said hello to a woman in the last 12 years of me knowing her, she knows about it. But now that it's been made so public, it's important that I first off let you guys know I do not stand by those actions. I don't want to encourage anybody to do that. And then secondly, I know that I cannot build a platform preaching certain things, preaching against certain things, and then in my real life live contrary to that for any amount of time or any length of time to any extent and think that I can't be held accountable. The same way that I preach, men and women in this situation need to face consequences of their actions, deserve to be held accountable. Guess what? Derrick Jaxn's no exemption. He's not exempt from that. I'm also not a victim. Nobody made me do this. She didn't make me or push me to do it. The next person didn't make me. No friend influenced me. It don't matter how I was raised and what trauma, whatever. Look, I made decisions. I made a series of decisions that I got to account for. There's no excuse or justification. I've already made that bed and have had to lie in it. And now we're finally getting on to the other side personally in our own healing, in our own marital oneness. And now this is being made public to you guys. So we're bringing that forth to you guys.
Yeah. I didn't even notice her eyes closed when I paused it. That's perfect. But, bro, you're getting on with your healing. She still got some shit to sort out, clearly. Like, it's different for women than it is men. It's different for women than it is, because to men, it's just sex. Let's call it what it is, folks. To men, oh God, these allergies. But to men, it's just sex. Men, it's less of an emotional component to sex. It's more dominance, domineering, territorial type, instinctual type things. But to women, that's the emotional. You know what I'm saying? That's their emotional peak. In a lot of instances, is sex. Just kind of sad, but true. Now, some women are able to detach completely from sex, but it's very few and far between. And likely, she has to train herself to do so. She has to be trained to detach. It's not natural. It's natural for men to detach sex from, you know what I'm saying, such philosophical ideas as love. But it's not that easy for women to do. So, brother, you got a road that you got to cross the bear for a while, dude. Like it just is what it is. She's going to feel how she feels for a minute, and you're going to be living an apology for a minute. That's what you set yourself up for. And you're going to go through this publicly because you're a public figure. That's why it's never worth it. It's never worth it.
Let you know where we're at with that. But did you want to say anything?
Yes, so I do want to just add that I agree with what he just said. There is no justification for bringing other women into our marriage on any level. And it was unacceptable, and it's not something that I tolerate or that we tolerate moving forward. And when I've been flooded again with messages and these things and about, you know, I need to leave or why haven't I left? And the answer is, when I found out about it, I left. I did not hesitate or waste time to do so. And I stayed gone. No matter how many times he came, I stayed gone and stood firm on, I am not coming back. And I did not come back until I seen a shift and a change in his mentality, in how he carried himself, in how he presented himself, and conversations that we were able to have that we had never been able to have in just 12 years of knowing each other. And when we were able to have these dialogues, said, okay, Lord, this is something that you've had your hand on. And this was with me being completely removed from his life. And him pursuing God, continuing to pursue God, and continuing to eliminate these things that led up to the catastrophe that you guys are seeing for the first time. So there's nothing out there right now that is information that I don't already know about or haven't known about. And so this is not something that is new. We have moved forward from it. We have gotten counsel for it and continue to do so. He is still continuing to pursue God and continuing to seek guidance and wise counsel from men of God. And that is what I needed for the continuation of me being present and in this marriage and to stand by his side. So today, where I'm at is at peace, and I proudly stand by his side, and I have no hesitation, I have no hurt, no shame about that. And it's only because of the grace of God and the mercy of God. And we have already turned a new chapter in this story. We are continuing to move forward, and we are just now sharing that with you all. And I forgave him, and most importantly, God has first forgiven him, and I also forgive the others as well. And with that, we are free and moving forward. So absolutely, that's all I have.
Yeah. And I get it. Some of y'all, like, this may come as a huge shock, probably a huge disappointment. I let a lot of you down. You know, if you've had a perspective shift on who Derrick is, hopefully it's away from anything remotely close to perfection. And it's simply that, you know, I am a human, and that does not justify anything that I did. But I don't want anybody out there to be putting me on a pedestal, If you did, then I hate that you did that. Maybe I gave you cause for that, and I apologize if I did. For those who are saying, Derrick, I don't want to ever listen to you again, it's totally understandable. I appreciate you while I had your support and helping me get the message out about healing and healthy relationships to so many people who needed it, myself included. And for those who are going to continue to support, man, I appreciate you like never before, because I know it's not going to be easy going forward, at least for a little while so many things are still fresh and attached to my name. But for everybody out there, if you get nothing else from what I've ever said over the last 9 years or right here in this video, please get this. Nothing is right until it is right with God. Nothing works until it comes into alignment with biblical standard of how God told us to do things, especially when we're talking about a marital, spiritual covenant.
Yes.
You know, you cannot do this by your own understanding, your own intelligence, your own willpower, your own values. You have to have the grace of God to break free from certain things, to stay away from certain things, to not operate from your lowest self, whatever it may be. And it's because it's really only by God's grace that we're even able to be here on this video, holding hands.
Only God.
Well, like a year ago, 7.
Yeah, she's saying only God, only God. I'm going to give this, I'm going to say within the window of 5 years, we'll see. We'll revisit where the couple is. But just want to say, Derrick was championed like Steve Harvey was championed by women for a time. Derrick Jaxn was championed. All right. Stop making people champions. Stop putting them on pedestals. Stop idolizing people and trying to be just like people. Gain knowledge of self. Understand who you are and who you want to be, and then take bits and pieces out there to figure out how to achieve that. That's what I got on the subject matter. But let me know down in the comments how you feel on it. Anyway, let's go back. All right. Don't idolize those guys, man. They're human, just like you're human. All right? I mean, we're guys because we control our fates with what we do with our time. But just be the best you possible. Figure out what it is that you want to achieve and take steps and act accordingly. All right. Next, we got to talk about how America wants it both ways with black fathers. Okay? For the longest time, there's been a myth that just because we see shows like The Maury Show and Divorce Court, Judge Judy, and you know what I'm saying, any show where there was a paternity test, I think Steve Wilkos is another one. There's been a myth perpetuated about black men that I'm quite frankly disgusted by. Is that black men don't care about their children, don't want to be fathers. It's further same from the truth. I know black men that have to wrestle with ratchet ass baby mamas every day. Okay, court dates just to see their babies. It goes on and on, people. Like, and for the most part, we know this. We know what's up. But there's just this thing with black men, and it's a bit of a chip on my shoulder. I want to be the best best father I possibly can be. That's why I'm waiting to have mine. But yo, I got the icky mask on, man. It's all twisted around. That's why I turn my head too much. Gotta have that icky trip. But this myth of black men just not taking care of their children. I'll admit, I know some brothers, and I've disassociated myself from certain individuals because they don't take care of their children. I know, but it's not the majority. I know far more black fathers that go to the nth degree for their children. I'm talking about taking penitentiary chances for their children, and they don't really have to. But you know what I'm saying? These kids want what they want, and no black parent wants to deny. You know what I'm saying? So it's sickening propaganda. Sickening propaganda. And then when we have a father like Kirk Franklin that actually tries to be there for his child, even though the child is rude, disrespectful, and all this. I'm gonna be 100% honest. My own father, you know what I'm saying, he went upside my head and my backside a few times. And looking back on it, I deserve a lot more than I got. A lot more than I got. Story for another time. You know what I'm saying? I deserve a lot more than I got. But story for another time. But, you know what I'm saying? Something to be said about corporal punishment, because most people that endure physical discipline, okay, have a higher likelihood to not be in prison. Don't know what it is. People that have had their fathers in their life for any amount of time have a higher rate of not going to jail. There's something to be said about that. But let's get into this clip of Kirk Franklin talking to his son, and I'll let you decide what's going on. All right, I'll give my opinion, of course, after the fact, but I'll let you decide what's going on. Let's get into it.
Okay, if you think I'm bringing this paper, let me say it like this. When your bitch ass starts disrespecting, you need to get your skinny motherfucking ass back out the goddamn way before I put my foot in your ass. Because I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. Shut the fuck up. I'm old. What's up? I will punch your neck, nigga, if you ever disrespect me. I did it. He just hung up the phone? I'll break your neck. Is that a threat?
All right, so I heard nothing wrong. I honestly heard nothing wrong with what Kirk Franklin said or did. I mean, he's reaching out to his son. Clearly, this man is 33 years old. He sounds like a teenager. Let me play this shit again. He sounds like, I'm gonna put myself in it. Because he sounds like a teenager. He sounds like a teenager. Listen to this. Listen to this conversation.
Okay. You think I'm bringing this paper? Let me say it like this.
Okay. So he even starts off in the middle. Okay. Let me say it like this. So.
When your bitch ass starts disrespecting, you need to get your skinny motherfucking ass back out the goddamn way before I put my foot in your ass. Because I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. Shut the fuck up. I'm old. What's up? I will punch your neck, nigga, if you ever disrespect me. I did it.
So he said, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Don't you ever disrespect me. He said, shut the fuck up. I didn't. Kirk Franklin since has apologized that, you know what I'm saying, what I would have apologized for is that y'all were in my business, but I don't need to apologize that y'all are in my business. Okay. I'm apologizing that you care too much about my business as that's my child. This is the problem. Too many other people get to say, because I understand that there was a minority of individuals that abuse their kids or don't take care of their kids properly. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I understand that. But that's a minority. But for the majority, it leaves little room in this society for a parent to be a parent. And I'm fucking sick and tired of it. It's one of the reasons why I'm waiting so long to have children. Because I want to have my kids. I want them raised. I kind of want to raise them like bruh is with his two kids. You know what I'm saying? If you ever seen this individual with locks, I believe he's in ATL, and you know what I'm saying, he's homeschooling, home training, and everything. And at a young age is even weapons training his children. That's the type of lifestyle I want for my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, because in the eyes of the public, the American parent, and even more so, the black American parent, is only allowed room to do so much. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, back in the day, you know what I'm saying, you acting out, every adult could whip your ass, and then you could expect another one from either your mother or father when you got home. All right, that's how the world worked when I was coming up. But nowadays, in the day of the toddler leash, it's horrible on these parents. It is absolutely horrible, and my heart goes out to them. Kirk Franklin seems like a concerned father that is at his wits' end with his childish, you know what I'm saying, with his 33-year-old boy, child, man, baby. All right, it is what it is. But you know, everybody was taking it back at first, but it seems like majority of his contemporaries came to his defense. Monique, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, showed her support. Steve Harvey showed his support. Ricky Smiley showed his support. And he had absolutely none to apologize for. Man, that's your child. You raise them how you see fit. As long as you don't kill them. You know what I'm saying? You might a few times make them wish that they were dead. You know what I'm saying? Take the Xbox away from them. Cut the Wi-Fi off. You know what I'm saying? Make them read a book. You know what I mean? Like, anyway. Now, I got a story for all you pocket watching motherfuckers. All right. Pocket watching. Watching another man's pockets. Being concerned and overly concerned about how much another individual on this planet is making is usually prevalent amongst those who aren't making enough. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Kanye West. All right. Yeezy. All right. My favorite rapper up to late registration. You know what I'm saying? Like, now this man is an icon, but again, it's not to be idolized. He's having a lot of rough times with his own family. Much like Derrick Jaxn, likely for other reasons. We don't know if he's been fucking around on Kim K, but we don't know what's going on. But what we do know is that he got 6.6 billion. Omni. 6.6. Let me hit that. Omni. 6.6 billion. No, he doesn't. It's actually 1.8. 1.8 billion, according to Forbes. It's grossly exaggerated based off of sales that haven't happened yet. So I'm assuming Kanye told Forbes how much he has, and Forbes didn't do the digging. I didn't understand this. I always thought, this is why I thought the industry was, where I thought the industry was at with it was, I'm sorry, let me brighten that up. Where I thought the industry was at with it as far as Forbes and Bloomberg, you know what I'm saying, all of these financial or financial tracking publications. What I thought the game was is that, you know what I'm saying, once you reach a certain level, your information at some point is public, like a publicly traded company files with the SEC, files documents with the SEC stating their cash flow and things of this nature. I thought that's how it worked for millionaires and billionaires. Once you get up, you know what I'm saying, once you get around the 7-8 figure range, you know what I'm saying, so yeah, the 7-8 figure range, people start tracking your income, and now your income is widely known. I thought that's how the game worked. I didn't know you reported it to yourself, because what happened here seems as though it was reported. Okay, it seems as though it'd be something that Kanye himself would report. Let's get into it. Forbes. No, Kanye West is not the richest black person in America, and here's why. All right, they got a white woman to write this. It's crazy, but he reported that he was worth nearly $7 billion, but he really has about 1.8 net worth. All right. But when he was at 6.6, people were like, how much money does Jay-Z have? Because this is how hip-hop works. Anyway, hip-hop, for the most part, whoever has the most money is often seen as the king or the leader of the movement. That's how, and Jay is really like, he archetyped, I'm not gonna say he architected that archetype of, you know what I'm saying, having the most money, having the flashiest shit. But once you get into the billion range, you have so much money, you don't need to flash anything. Like millionaires, some black millionaires flash. Black billionaires stay very quiet. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't flash. He had business meetings wearing a t-shirt and Rock Nation hat. Like he in a Rock Nation fit at the business meeting with the white folks over the NFL. Like Jay-Z is a very, very powerful individual. Okay, I would dare say that due to Jay-Z's connection to the streets, and some people debate whether or not he's ever been connected to the streets, but he's been around those types and those people. I doubt he got into where he is today without looking out for folks. And I doubt that he's not getting some money from the streets on the side, even though, you know what I'm saying, he gets a lot of legal currency. So, does Kanye have more money than Hov? Nah. Seeing how the 6.6 billion was speculative, and it's really 1.8. The last known record for Jay-Z was about 1. I think it was 1.5. You know what I'm saying? That's what we've known. But Jay-Z street money, I don't know. Jay-Z may be 100% legit, but due to his past, can't say he's not connected. He can't say he wouldn't make those phone calls. He's probably doing it smarter than everybody else is doing it, or probably gave everybody else in the game how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Especially being around Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle said a lot of dirty money gets washed in royalty statements. Where did he get that information from? Because he wasn't always a rapper. Just saying. So, with that said, in this money talk, because I don't like to talk about other people's pockets that much. But with that said, with all of this said, them STIMMY'S hitting. All right, what you gonna do? You gonna spend? You gonna invest? Here's my suggestion. Take care of your needs, your immediate needs first, and then definitely invest. Because this is the thing about investment. When you spend it, that money goes straight to the company. It's lost from you. All that value is lost from you. And it goes straight to the companies. Okay? But if you invest in something like stocks or something else, but I would say stocks. And the reason why is if you invest that money into the stocks, that the stimulus is most likely going to benefit the services or the goods, the producers of the goods or services that people are typically going to buy into when they get additional funds. Then investing into those companies that have those products or services will appreciate. Maybe a small appreciation, maybe a large appreciation, but some is better than none. And especially with the inflation soon to hit, we're already starting to see it in these gas prices and whatnot. The dollar menu is going to be completely extinct. There will be no value menu, I predict, in the next 5 years. But the stimulus, I call it a bonus because I really wasn't off work all the time when COVID was hit. Some people been off work all that time. But you know, it's really quite simple. If you invest, yes, there's risk. You could lose it all. So what I suggest really is when you're investing, it's like the primary tenet to investing anyway. When you're investing, don't put up what you're not willing to lose. Now, in my mind, I'm willing to lose a lot because I understand the concept of it all being on the line anyway. If you don't invest, there's a good chance you'll lose everything because it's just going to go out the door due to inflation, due to the prices of goods increasing. But if you don't squirrel away some money and look after it and invest it or flip it or find something to do with it, it's just all going to be eaten up. So the choice is yours. Do what you want. Honestly, do what you want with it. But my suggestion, not even advice, just a friendly suggestion, is invest over spending it. It'll serve you more in the long run. Wary observations, righteous discussions, unite people. It's the Word Up Podcast, and I've been your host, OMNI, Omni, etc. And you can catch me there on IG. Peace.